Namaste everyone. Today, um, every time I've taken webinars many times or sessions many times, I've gone to many places, but still, always there will be a little tension. हमेशा रहता है वो tension. How it is going to be today, whether I will be able to reach people, whether I will be able to make people understand. That tension will always be there for me. But today I have to thank Dr. Harish sir for this wonderful laughter yoga, because I feel so nice now. It's so nice. I feel really light. I mean, that is the power of laughter. Actually, what he said, every word, it really matters. Because I'm also a yoga therapist, so I know that. But today practicing with him, it made my tension go down totally. Thank you, Dr. Harish sir, for this wonderful session. Okay, then today we will proceed with our technical session. Like we will be having, we will be learning about assessment also, and I'll be sharing my screen first. One second. Yes. Okay. So to agenda for today's, of course, for all these 4 days, we are in our second day now. Today we will be doing assessment tools. Why assessment? क्या के लिए assessment चाहिए? How we have to do the assessment for a child? I will be explaining to you that. And उसके बाद हम लोग को candle making session रहेगा, hard and gel candle. Then we did very big project in Oman. We did a very big project in.
I request IT team to mute all.
Okay, thank you. So we did a very big project in candle making in Oman. It was a very big project. And what are the variations in candles? Candle मतलब सादा वाला candle है तो market में बहुत सारा मिलता है. You get lot of candles. But we are going to do something very very different. और इसके साथ कैसे business कर सकते हैं? How can you improve your business? What you can do? That we will be seeing today. So this is the thing. This is for the today's session. First, assessment, the importance of assessment, how you have to assess. Everything I will be giving you in detail. But if you have any question, any doubts regarding this assessment tool, please ask me after this assessment session. Then we will. I will share my this one about candle making, hard candles. Again, we'll have a question answer session for that. But everything 5 minutes. Then we have a gel candle session. Again, there will be a question answer. Then we'll be doing a case study. Okay, now I'll stop this screen, and then I'm going to take you towards the assessment tool. I hope you all can see my screen. This is the assessment tool which we have designed in Prakramika Institute. To give a brief about this. Okay, to give a brief about this assessment tool, in fact, when I started teaching vocations for children with special needs, we had a lot of queries, which vocation, how we can select a vocation for a particular child, how we can take the child further. Main thing, my question is, why are we teaching vocations? क्या के लिए vocations चाहिए बच्चे के लिए? We say children with special needs. Now, most of them, I'm very sorry to say, I've seen people who have them at home only after 18 years. After that, they don't do anything constructive with their children. They don't make them independent. But we all have to understand they are also human beings. They also have capabilities, and they also have the potential to work and earn. I'm telling this from my experience also, of all these years experience, that when that is really possible, I will be showing you a live case study also regarding that. So when you see that, how can you make your child independent? Frankly speaking, we as parents will not be there for our children for a long time. It's a fact. I'm talking fact. Sorry, I'm not talking anything negative, but that is a fact. But how are we going to make our child independent even after us? The siblings or uncles or aunties, someone, a caretaker will be taking care of our children. But is it not our duty to make our children independent? Independent living is very important. So activity of daily living and this vocation will keep the child meaningfully engaged, and I'm telling, away from all unwanted behaviors. So the child, the others who are going to take care of our children will not have it, treat them as a burden, and our children will also have a meaningful life ahead, which I feel it's very, very important, which we have to create more than our money, wealth, and everything. Our prime aim should be making our children independent in this world. Okay, coming to this vocations. When I say, okay, today, these 4 days, I'll be sharing 4 vocations, and I'm going to share what I know. From there, I'm going to share 4 vocations. But is that all? Believe me, there are thousands of vocations, thousands and thousands of vocations. For you to learn a vocation, you don't need any academic. Most of them doesn't need any academic qualification. All you need is a practical, technical skill, task analysis. Task analysis means breaking the vocation into parts and teaching them in stages, teaching them very slowly. That also I will be telling today, how we proceed in a gradual manner. Don't see, to all my people present here, yes, you are going to learn candle making. I'm very happy with it. But understand from a child's perspective, how are you going to make your children learn? That is more important. It is, okay, we are learning fine. But how are we going to transfer this knowledge to our children, particularly when it comes to children with special needs? How are we going to equip them? That is very, very important, which I will be sharing today. It's not like you give them products and they do it. No, it's not. It doesn't happen in that way. Okay, so when this assessment tool, if you want, you can ask Pradeep sir. He will get in touch with me, because this is the complete tool from Prakramika Institute. With we are very happy to share this. This is done with our experience and of 12 years. Lot of research has been put in, and we have done this. But we will be very happy to share with the NGOs. But please get in touch with Pradeep sir. Okay, now coming to this assessment tool. Okay, I'm not getting into this detail, which has got that name. It's a basic details of a particular person, a particular child. I'll be coming to the technical side of it. Okay, when a child is coming to you, but I'm talking this from an NGO perspective also. So when a child is coming to an NGO or to a vocational institute, how are we going to see the child? That is also important. You have to see the family members also. It is not only the child's capability. Even the family background, even that really matters for a particular, you say a particular child. For example, one case which I would like to share with you is, I know a child with autism. They say he's non-verbal, which I don't accept. From a yoga side, we never accept a person being non-verbal. We only say a person has chosen not to speak. That's all. Because we know everybody can speak. It is possible. We can bring it out. But in our traditional side, we never say non-verbal. But anyway, the so-called, the child was labeled as non-verbal with autism, a very nice child. But when you see, he was 17 or 18 years, I'm talking about 4-5 years back. So when you see, he was excellent in doing a filing work. Absolutely, he has zero knowledge of schooling. No knowledge of schooling, no ABCD, no 1, 2, 3, no joining dots, nothing he knows. It's nothing he knows. But he has a photo memory. When he sees a paper, when he sees a logo, or when he sees a letter pad, he has a photo memory. So with that photo memory, he's able to do a beautiful filing work. Amazing, I'm telling. It's an amazing work he used to do. Okay, when we inquired and had more discussion with the parents, we got to know father is a chartered accountant. and brother is also a chartered accountant. So the best thing for this particular child is never a candle making. He might be good in candle making, or he might be good in nursery. Nursery is a very good vocation. So he might be good in many other things, but which is suitable as a family also. You have to see that as a specialist. We have to see even that, so that the child will be merged within the family, which is more important. It is not that the child is doing candle making alone, or soap making, or a nursery or something he is doing alone. That cannot, it can be avoided. We should always take the family background, and we have to merge the vocations along with the family. Please, these just 4 vocations, what you are learning is nothing. It's 0.001% of the total vocations. There are thousands and thousands of vocations you will have to really focus for a particular child. Okay, so when you say who is bringing the child, the relation, their qualification, how they are, all these has to be taken. The type of family, whether it's a nuclear or a joint family, because joint family, it's very easy to integrate a child in any vocation. So again, of course, the nature of disability, the percentage of disability, which is very important, and of course the communication skills. If the child is hearing impaired, is he able to do the lip reading? So all these, we as practitioners, you can ask the people who are coming, but I would also say you will have to observe. You have to observe when the child and or the caretaker, they are sitting in front of you for the assessment. So you will have to observe when they are sitting. It is not just you are asking a question, putting a tick mark, this is okay, this is okay, this is okay, nothing like that. You have to go for a 360 degree of viewing the child. That is extremely important when you select, when you go for a vocational assessment. This is an informal assessment tool. It is not that you should be an RCA certified or a professional or a psychiatrist to use this. This anybody can use. But I request a person who has knowledge in vocations, who has knowledge in special education, would be a better person to deal with. Of course, all these, the languages, educational qualification. Here, when they come for the educational qualification, you will have to see till where they have completed, whether 6th grade or 7th grade or 10th grade. There are children who have passed even 12th grade. So it is not just children with autism or a Down syndrome or, they will come for the vocations. Even children with learning disabilities, child with mental retardation, who have passed their 12th also, even they will also need vocational training. Definitely, it may be a big challenge for those children also to get into professional qualifications like engineering or doctor. It might be very difficult. But when it comes here, they will be excellent in doing multimedia or digital marketing. So all those technical side, they will be very good. I have my own student who is actually mentally retarded, though he is 17 or 18 years. Is academic level, or if you see the brain level, is only 7 to maximum 8 years. That's all. When you do that assessment, it comes at 7 to 8 years. That child, if you see, he's excellent in computers, and socializing also. So we are trying to make him as a marketing side by giving him the like particularly digital marketing side. So we are giving him technical knowledge in multimedia and all that. So please don't confine your thoughts within the boundaries of these art and craft like soap making, candle making. When you see vocation, please see it in a bigger scale. See the larger picture. Vocation is a huge subject. You have so many varieties. So educational qualification again is very important for you to know whether the child comes under. Tomorrow we will be knowing, we will be seeing that when we see the organizational structure, we will see the types of vocations also. So whether he comes under academic side vocation or non-academic side vocation. So when you see the academic side, you will be seeing the technical qualifications also. So these are some of the things from the as a general perspective you will see. whether he has already worked somewhere, all that. Children are capable of working. I will tell my student has started a business. Now we are doing with another child, and this particular child who is doing, I told no, with the child with autism who is doing that filing, he's employed in his own father's company. So like that, we have children employed everywhere. But being Indians in Oman, we have that limitations because we cannot, our children cannot get employment in Oman. But of course, in India, you can do it. So these are general questions which we ask the parents or the caretakers, or we ask even the child directly itself, because some children are very capable of telling. Apart from this is very, very important, which I really told you. So this is what I said, it's very, very important. What do you as a practitioner, as a special educator, or as a vocational teacher observe the child during the interview? That is very, very important. You will have to see the child's behavior, the child socializing. So all this you will have to observe. And again, I'm telling, when the child comes to your NGO or to you for a training purpose, don't do this assessment just on the first day, make them sit and start writing, tuck, 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 tuck. No, don't do that. Please, the first 2 sessions, try to build a rapport with the child. Take the child, around your vocational center or whatever you are. It can be even a small unit. Just take them around, make them feel comfortable. That is when the child can also open up to you. Your assessment will be accurate. So don't do the assessment just on the first day, the first side, please don't do. First, try to build the rapport. Rapport building is always very important, particularly when it comes to counseling also. Rapport building is very, very important. So this is the first session, we have the first part of the assessment. Now coming to the second technical part of the assessment. This, I would rather suggest, it is better to have our occupational therapist or our physiotherapist with us when we do this informal assessment. Again, please take this. This is not a formal assessment at all. This is an informal assessment. So this has to be done, of course, by an authorized person. I rather prefer we do it in along when we have our occupational therapist or a physiotherapist with us, because they will be the people who will give us the exact analysis, being the experts in their field. It is better we get their opinion. So you will have to see their arm movement, their gross motor functioning, their their fine motor functioning, their eye coordination, their hand-eye movement, and their physical movement. Everything has to be noted, including their spine. For certain vocation, you require spine to be very, very straight also. So you suppose if they have a deformed spine, it's not advisable you make them do candles when you are handling such high temperatures. So it's better you don't give such vocations. So you will have to really see all this before you come to a conclusion, okay, this would be better. Okay, and of course, definitely, this is another important thing. You will have to take in their vocational interest also. If the child is not able to tell, you will have the list of vocations. See, you definitely as an organization, you both from the academic side and from the non-academic side. Again, there is another column I will be explaining to you that you will be having a list of vocations. It is not that we shuttle between 2 or 3 vocations. We never know where the child will fit in. For example, I came across a student, of course, his gross motor, fine motor, his socializing, everything is fine. Everything is perfect and he was good, but he's little slow in the work, otherwise he's very good, no behavioral problem. But when we had to give him nursery related vocation, when we thought we'll try with the nursery related, he was not willing. He didn't like touching it because he had that little bit of sensory issues also. So, and he was absolutely not comfortable touching the clay. He was comfortable touching the plant, but not touching the clay. So in that way, even when you know the gross motor or the fine motor or all these, even if they are good, The child may not like that particular vocation which you are trying to tell. So just ask what the child likes. If the child is not able to tell, please do ask the parents or the caretakers if they have any choice. So again, I'm telling you, vocation. See, you have leaf plate making vocation where you have a machine. We just press and take. You get beautiful leaf plates, eco-friendly leaf plates. You get and eco-friendly leaf cups you get, because I can't do it at my home and show you the video, but we have done this with children, and children are marvelous in that, because they are the one, we take them in the van, they are the one, they'll go and bring those leaves, they will soak it, they know today we are going to make leaves, so they know, and they will soak that leaves also, and meticulously they will do those leaf that it's a heat press, that's all, and the leaf comes out, then they will trim and make it perfect beautifully, they will make quite simple and safe also. So for all that, you have to see these physical conditions, their interest, their family background, which is very, very important. In case they have their interpersonal skills, that is, if they are able to communicate with others, if they are very self-confident, if they can adjust to any surroundings, if they can, to some extent, if they are able to do a problem solving, you can train them for front office management. Front office management, again, it is very easy. When I have to tell you this, when we do all these, particularly the hospitality management or the front office management for children with special needs, we avoid all the theory aspect of it. We don't ask them to sit and write the exam, which is of absolutely no use. So what we do is we give them a lot of training only into the practical oriented training or data entry. So for this we train them. So you will have to see all these where before you decide. Okay, and then coming here. Okay, this is a very, very important aspect of assessment. This level. See, what I suggest is based on your other that first level assessment you have done. In that second level, the part 1 you have finished. So from there you will have to write down the vocations which are possible from your side, what you feel would be better for the child. List down some 10 vocations also, no problem. So what you have to really do is, first you every vocation take 3 days. You have minimum, you have to take 3 days. So you, what is that you are giving for the child, and how do you feel the child, whether the child is comfortable or not, how is his performance, check if there is any behavioral problem, check his anxiety. First time, definitely there will be some amount of anxiety will be there. See, as I first told you, when I start talking, definitely before that I will never sleep. I can never sleep. That these 3-4 days I will be having a bit of anxiety. A bit of anxiety is fine, but not too much. So check if there is any too much rebel or too much opposing is there from the child, but don't never force a child. You have to be very gentle, very caring. And level of motivation. Is it necessary that you have to literally push and do, or whether he is doing automatically? So with all these things, you can write your remarks, and you can, from here you can choose the best out of it. And further, any behavioral thing or any occupational related help you need, or a physiotherapy, or from a behavioral therapist, whatever you need, you will have to mention it in the remarks. And it's a teamwork. See, when you see a child with special needs, not one person can take a credit, or not one person can train a child. It is not just a mother who has to do it, or a father. So it will be a parent, or any parent, teacher, behavior therapist, occupational physio, everybody, and the community, everybody should help. And that full again I'm telling, the 360-degree of help is required for a child to succeed. And of course, yes, we can do it with our with little bit of motivation and all that. So these are the observations you will have to write in that paper. And after that, you have your individual IEP. So I hope so there are 3 parts. The third part I will come now. So until 2 parts. I hope it is all clear to you. The first part is the general questions which you will be asking the child, the caretaker or the parent. You will see the family and everything. And the second, how you will assist the child with the help of therapist, and how you will select the occasions for the child. And then you will practically implement and see which are the where the child is comfortable, everything. Again, I'm telling, once you have decided which are the vocations, it is a mandatory process that you will have to sit with the parents. It is a compulsory process that you will have to sit with the parents and explain them, see, these are the occasions which we feel is comfortable. What do you say? Because ultimately they are the main stakeholders. Everybody is a stakeholder, agreed, but they are the main stakeholders. So you will have to sit and explain to the parents and make them feel comfortable. Another one, what we do is, which I would like you all to also to do, is equipping the parents equally. So what we normally do is, after a particular occasion, when we know the child is 60 to 70% is independent in that, we call for a parental training also. I am very particular that the parents should be equipped in this, so that parallelly they also work at home. So, which is very important. In any case, if the parents have to leave this place or if they have to go elsewhere, still the vocations or still the skill development can continue with the child. It should never be that the child is always dependent only on us. So it should be, you should make them independent totally. So that also I request. Parental training is also equally important. You can do that as an activity also. Even they also need a break, so you can do it as an activity also. Okay, now coming to the IEP. Say, when you see the vocations here, so this is what I said. What is skill based, whether art based and culinary based. You will know why I am telling this when we talk about the organization structure tomorrow, how a vocational unit has to run. You will know that the importance of these three. So when you're selecting a vocation for a child, it is not just one. Skill based, yes. Skill means what? It can be even a car wash or this paper. I said no, that leaf plate paper making, or a nursery, or there are so many. I should say. There's a big list. And when you say art based, is what we are learning these 4 days. Your chocolates or your craft items, your greeting card, candles, all these come here. And next is another culinary based. Culinary based means it's not always baking or chocolate making doesn't come here. It is even beyond that. Like, we had a child, I won't say child, he's a big adult. He was 31 years, that I'm telling again, 5 years back, he was 31 years, now he's 36. He is actually very intelligent. Of course, he had epilepsy. He comes under autism spectrum only. But otherwise, his grasping power, his working method is to be excellent. So what we used to do is, he had a lot of behavioral issues, particularly as you all know, the adolescent time when it came. He had a lot of behavioral issues. To drain out his energy, what we used to do is, we brought a machine and we used to make him that rice granules. So we used to do that. Believe me or not, per day he used to make 5 kg of that. With that, we used to, the other children will take that and they used to make ready dosa mix, and or ready ada mix, like that. They will do packaging and we used to sell it. So this is culinary based. Again, culinary based means, please don't narrow down to baking or you're cooking or no, biscuit making. No, it's not like that. There are a lot of other things also you can really think about. So again, start from the basic level. So which vocation and how, whether they have completed the basic level, intermediate, advanced. Advanced means at least 80% independence it should be. They should be able to take the contents, they should be able to identify, they should be able to do everything alone. Only thing is, you will have to supply those raw materials and just sit back and ensure the safety aspect of it. It should never be that the child is left alone with their vocations. Adult supervision is always important. Anybody. So this is very important where they stand, so that for us to move to the next. So this will also help you in making a task analysis also. So where the child is, go one step below. Don't start from the same level, because the child will not get that comfort. So the child will be comfortable only a level below. So start from a level below, then rise to the next level. So this is very important. So these are okay. Now this again tomorrow I will be taking you all this when discussing the organization structure also. So what all the components a vocational institute must have. Of course, the vocation. Please understand, when we say communication skill, that is English or mathematical skill or computing or functional academics, everything should be supporting to this particular vocation. Suppose I'm training my child in front office management, my ADL, that is activity of daily living, should be based on the front office management only. So what are the activities required? How I'm going to build the ADL? So this is very, very important. And next, my communication skill. How I'm going to equip the child with respect to the which vocation that leaf plate making, whatever it is. So how am I going to do? Mathematical skills. So the child should be able to go by the required items. So normally what we do is, we don't make the child, okay, I'm giving you 100 rupees today, go buy these materials, you add, subtract. Normally we don't do that, because there are two components that gets involved, addition and subtraction. The child may get confused. So what we do is, we'll make, so okay, 100 is the amount which I gave. So we'll be asking the child only to minus, 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 minus. So whatever he's purchasing, it will be minus, minus. Then when he presses the enter, the final balance amount comes. So this is what I have to get back my amount. So of course, this improves the mathematical skill and the functional activities. So both actually come, everything overlaps. All these overlaps with each other. So your IEP should be based, everything should be based on the particular vocation, be it your nursery or be it your car wash or front office management, anything, hospitality management, anything you take, the vocation and the ADL, all these components should be based on this particular vocation. So that is how you have to design the IEP, which is again, I'm telling, very, very important. It is not that one size fits everyone. Take one ADL, everybody do that ADL. That can never happen. In fact, in the place where I was working before, we used to have an ADL kit separately for every child. It used to be kit bag. So all the ADL kit, for example, when one particular girl, we trained her in beauty, a beautician side, because she's very much interested into that. So we trained her in that, how you have to do the hairstyling and everything. So her ADL kit used to contain all these materials. And we used to be the demo piece for her. She will do all the trial and error on us. So, so what I'm trying to tell is, this is how you will have to plan your IEP. So the first is general information. Second is how you arrive at this vocation. Please, you should have a list of vocation. Don't confine to 2, 3, or 4. And then the IEP part of it. So these are the components which are very, very important. Beyond that, what all the therapies the child is going through. Till here, our NGO level stops. Till here, it stops. Now, coming to integration. Whether the parents want integration, how are we going to integrate the child in the community? Very important. Again, NGO has to play a very important role here. We are the people who should approach the companies or the MNCs or the organization. First, it's not that you go directly put the child there. How you have to do that? First, you have to go there, visit. For example, now we are planning to integrate one child in a bank. What I did is, first I went to the bank. I asked the work culture, what is that work you will be giving to this particular child? And I have to analyze whether this, with my team, it's not an individual person, with my team, I have to analyze whether this particular work will suit the particular child. And then, okay, yes means I will take the child couple of times to that particular area, make the child comfortable. Again, I told you the rapport building is very important. So when the child is comfortable, then I will start my integration. Integration means it starts with visit, then it goes partial. Partial means 1 hour per day. And with supervision, supervision is very important. You just can't leave the child like that. And then there's independent integration. Even if the integration is independent, it is a very important role of NGOs. We have to go visit and see if the child is safe. Before this, you will have to ensure all the other aspect of the adolescent, like good touch, bad touch, how to protect themselves, where are the boundaries. All these should come under your functional academics. Parallelly, we have to work on all these. So that's what I said always, it's a 360-degree approach. It is not just one way. It's a 360-degree approach is very, very important. So after this, when you know the child has gone, maybe then you can think of a second round of improving the skills. So if you want, you can further, again, the family also, it depends. You can go for a second round of teaching different vocations again, because learning should never stop. So this is about the assessment. Now I'll stop sharing my screen. Arpita ji, now I think it's open for QA session. Any questions you have, you can put it on the chat box. Or if you don't have questions, I will continue with my candle making session.
IT team, please help match on the same.
So any questions? How do you know which vocation to pick for a which child? Thank you, Joshna ji, for this question. That's what I told you. We analyze the motor abilities of a particular child, their physical. We analyze the family background. We take into consideration everything. Then we come to a conclusion with the help of therapists. We come to a conclusion that these might fit in. So in that, what we do is we take 10 vocations, both in skill, it should be in all three, skill, culinary, and art based. So it should be a mix of all these. We take it and then we will see where the child is more comfortable. Then we will have the counseling session with the parents to say, this is best for your child, please go ahead with this. We'll get their opinion also. It's a teamwork actually. Can you provide list of vocations that can work well? Ma'am, if you see the list of vocation, as I first told you, it is not just these 3 or 4 or making a biscuit or this one, or again I'm telling having a nursery. It doesn't stop here at all. There are thousands and thousands of vocations. So it is like we'll have to explore each and everything. What we do, see, there are so many vocations which even I don't know. Particularly yesterday, if you had seen the presentation of that wood cutting, I was clueless about such an industry at all. How do I know that there were such that big CNG machines? How I know about all that? It is only exploring. We will have to go explore and we'll have to see how it works.
Gayatri ji?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Anuradha ji.
Namaste. Good evening to everybody. I just want to know one thing. आपने अभी बताया, just now you mentioned that once a child gains 80% competency, like he or she is able to handle the vocation independently to a degree of 80% to 80 to 70% or whatever. So according to your experience with these very specially challenged children, according to you, how much time do they take to switch maybe once they become competent in one vocation, then they can move to a different vocation. So normally, does this happen, or after they become competent, you just let them continue with the same vocation, or do you give them a chance to explore some new vocations also?
Okay, that is another good question, which I really like. I always prefer the children get trained in, though of course we will ask them to be specialized in one or two vocations, but we give them more opportunities to explore other vocations also. So whenever we have a project or anything together, everybody will come and do it. Though I know this child is good only in this, he will do only in this. I know that, and even the child also will know. That will be an incentive for that particular child. But we will allow them to explore, because when it comes to an organization or an institution, if the child is, by God's grace, the child is getting integrated, we cannot always say this is the only work you will be doing. There could be little deviations and variations which the child has to be prepared also to take it up. And so we normally give, but definitely we will never give if the child is uncomfortable. Like I told you, that one child, he didn't like touching the clay, he vomited. So in that case, absolutely no, we will not give that at all.
Yeah. Thank you very much. That was.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So shall we move on for our next section? Yes, ma'am, please tell me.
When we send our children outside for work, it is very important to sensitize the employers. So, ma'am, can you just guide us how to sensitize the employers?
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the question. So when it comes to sensitizing, for example, I told you just now that we are trying to integrate this particular child in a bank. My first thing is I go first. I go alone. I don't take the child. First, I will see how the employer is. One more thing I will tell, it is not just for the employer alone. Even when we work, we should know if the organization where we are going to work is safe or not, which is very important. Normally, we also never see and we start cribbing later on. So it is a mandatory, we should see how the organization structure is, are we accepted, inclusion is there, how they are. So we have to see their mindset. This is the first stage. After a couple of those things, I will see what all the work that happens there, and then I see how that is going to benefit my child, how my child can do it. So I will bring back those work and I will start doing that at my place. So with the child, I'll start doing it. So when I know, okay, the child is capable of now, let us start integrating. Then comes the sensitizing of the employer. Meantime, we will have a lot of talks with the employer, and only after they agree, because this particular bank, when I said, they thought children with special needs means they will be very violent. In fact, he was so scared even to meet the child. That officer, though he was very good at heart, very nice person, he was so scared to meet. I felt it hurt me a bit. I won't deny it. But of course, we face all this when it comes to children with special needs. But the moment he interacted, the moment he had a talk with the child, his whole perspective itself changed. Then, in fact, I didn't know he was scared. But only thing he was telling, "Madam, you also be here. Don't go. You also be here." I thought, let them interact. But I didn't know he was having the fear in his mind. But after that, he apologized to me. He said, "I asked you to be here because I was scared. So, but now I know children are more capable of." He was so overwhelmed. He was so happy to see the child, the potential, the interaction. It was so nice. The talk was so nice. And now it's like almost done. He's got a job only because of this lockdown. We are waiting. So it is very important. And again, ma'am, Meeta ma'am, we have to go with the child to the organization. You cannot leave the child from the day one. No, we'll have to be there for some time until the child gets accepted, the child is comfortable. Then it is a very gradual withdrawal of our support. It should be very, very gradual. We should tell, okay, tomorrow I have little work, I may go a little early. So you finish and you come. So it should be like that. Or we should say, okay, you in this 2 hours, I have a meeting, I will go and you just do your work. I will come and pick you up. So it should be in that way. Slowly, you should withdraw. Finally, the child will say, you don't come. I know how to take care of myself. Definitely, I'm telling the child will say this statement. So that is possible. It's like you just have the positive mindset and then, but again, safety is very, very important. You have to take care. Particularly when it comes to sexual harassment, they are very, very prone to all these traumas. They're very vulnerable. They don't know. So we have to teach them. We have to ensure their safety. That is prime duty of us. Even after you do all this, there will be challenges. Your eye should always be there.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. How to connect, Pradeep sir, how to connect MNC for a job is just go and ask, that's all. That is what I do. I take an appointment, I go, I ask them. I say, because even government is also making it mandatory that this much percentage of job should go for our children with special needs also. That is what first I go, I talk to them, I explain to them, I show them some videos. I tell them this is possible. Please understand. So I show them my videos. So that is when they understand. It's like I go tap their door. If they reject me, I'm fine. I don't bother, but I go knock every door for our children. Okay, can we continue with our next session now of our candle making? And those NGOs, if you want the assessment thing, I'll be very happy to share with you, but please contact Pradeep sir for that. Okay, now coming to our candle making. Again, I'm telling you, this is not just the vocation, just 4 I'm sharing with you. It's 0.001% of the total vocations. So please keep an open mind. You have lot outside. Okay, when I say candle making, I'll close this chat box. Okay, when I say candle making, safety, please ensure the safety norms. What you do, you can be a mother, you can be a parent or an NGO or a teacher, whatever it is. What is your safety norm? Please lay down your safety list for all the vocations. For all the vocation, even when we did yesterday block printing, what will happen if the child licks the paint? They're all chemicals. It is not natural. So please ensure all the safety norms, all the possible safety you have to take. When I show a video, I will show you also a child with CP. We used a yoga mat on the child to ensure that the candle doesn't fall. And one more thing which I would like to tell you all is candle burns are very bad. Your temperature has to be very, very low. Please teach candles to, of course, my children are all doing. I'm telling, they're all doing it. Absolutely no problem. They know hot, cold. This is a very important concept which you have to teach a child, hot and cold. How will you teach hot and cold? You can't teach it theoretically. You will have to make the child experience. That doesn't mean you give a boiling water and ask the child to touch. No, that is not correct. But a little warm and a little cold, when you have to make the child touch in a safety way and experience what is hot and what is cold. So hot and cold is something you cannot teach theoretically. But please, again and again, I'm telling you, take all safety precautions when you are doing candles. All safety precautions. So this is very important. Okay, these are the raw materials which we will use. When I say raw material, hard wax again, I hope you all can see my video also. This is blended wax actually. This is excellent quality. I order and I get it. 1 second, Akila, the color pellets I need. Okay, this is hard wax, and this is something which I order and I buy, which has high melting point also. And this is very nice, good quality wax. Everything I will tell you where you get. You cannot see the video. Okay. Anyway, when I'm showing the that video of what I'm making, that time you will know. Okay, here I'm starting the video. Okay, what I'm Okay, so the one hand what I'm having is a normal candle which you get it in the market. Okay, it's a very normal candle which we don't want. We are coming in the business point of view. So something what we are going to make is a designer candle. So how you make these design? Very simple actually. The process is very simple. I'll be showing the wax here. So what all we need an induction stove, we need the induction related vessel, this is what is the blended wax. You can see this is what is the blended wax, a very strong wax. My children love breaking it with a hammer. They just love it. We have to use a hammer to break it. That itself again is a very good activity. Please, teachers, mothers, make a task analysis of everything. It's very important. I cannot share it here, no time, but please make. These are molds. Okay, these are silicone molds. They are very expensive. It from 300 rupees, it goes even up to 5,000. I have a mold which is 12,000 also. I have a 12,000 rupees mold also. Coming to this is the perfume. Perfume, when I say you have for candles you have separate perfume, it's a low quality perfume, and for soaps you have essential oil and a high quality perfume. But I don't confuse my children. I use the same perfume. Okay, now coming, this is very important. I'll pause the video here. This I hope you can see it in my hand. These are color pellets. These are color pellets, and what is the difference? Normally, when you see candles, when even when I started making candles also, we used to do it with color powders, which is very toxic. And I'm telling you, color powders are carcinogenic also. So again, I told you all safety norms, safety measures you will have to take. So what I decided is I got a tie-up with one of the person in Mumbai, and we made these color pellets. So color pellets, it doesn't stick to your hand unnecessarily. There is absolutely zero mess in that. So you will have to put the pellets, 2 pellets or 3 pellets, depending on the color you want. Suppose you want it very dark, put more colors. So like this, I have made color pellets in all the colors. So all colors I have color pellets, so which is very, very safe, because what happens when you use powder, it sometimes gets into the nail. Of course, even if you use your gloves and all that, sometimes children are not comfortable with gloves. So the thing is, sometimes it enters your nose also, nostrils also. It is very dangerous. So better avoid using powders. If you have to use, please ensure you wear your mask, you wear your gloves. Again, I'm telling safety is important, not just making. So these are color pellets which are made of wax only. So actually we boil it nicely with the color so that you make the pellets. Of course, you need wick. Wick can be like this in a bundle you get. Otherwise, you get can you see this aluminium base wax coated wick? These are wax coated wick. These are professionals, but the problem is for when I'm in Oman, I cannot bring because that aluminium gets caught in the scanner. So I normally use that thread only. So first is we'll have to break the wax. With hammer, we'll have to break and then put it in the that vessel. Keep it on a low flame. I don't know what type of an induction stove you all are having. Please don't use gas. Highly flammable thing which we are handling. Don't use gas. No fire. So use induction stove only. You can use gas. It's okay. If you want, for adults, it's okay. But please, no, don't you, when you are working with children, avoid all that. So I've kept it for melting. By the time it melts, we can, what we have to do is you have to teach the children to wick the molds. How to wick the molds. When you see the mold, when you see the wick part of it, there are 2 ways of, one, you can put the thread directly, or the professional, another You can put this rod about it. So this iron rod is a special rod made for candles only. So put that iron rod and keep it. So after you make the candle, you will have to. Is it breaking my voice now? Is it okay? I hope it's okay now. Fine, thank you. That after you make the candle, you have to use a plier and remove the iron rod. Another way is, which I do because in Oman I'm getting to get that aluminium base is difficult. So I do that thread directly. And this is a beautiful activity when you do with the children because the child will pull it out the other way. I will be holding it the other side. So again, it's a nice game. So to keep this in the center, we use this. This rod is not required when it comes to heart candle because please understand this is going to be the lower part. I will tell you which is lower and which is upper part, which is the right, because it comes ulta. When you make heart candles, when you demold, it comes ulta. So this wax is melting. Can you see? Please have it low flame because it's very, it catches fire. Now I've taken the pellet. Don't allow the child to put it directly because again the wax will flash. Again, I'm telling take maximum precautions. If possible, ask the children to wear rubber boots, rubber gloves, which will be better. So it depends. The color of this candle depends on what is your requirement or the customer's requirement. So now my wax is ready now. Yes, adult presence is always required. For example, in one place we've done file making with children. File making because it's a big machine where we collect all unwanted papers and put that the waste papers in one side. You get notepads, you get files and all that in another. It's a big machine. Whatever, it is quite safe, I agree, but still for everything adult supervision, someone should be there, preferably occupational therapist should be there because they see what is the challenge the child is facing and they work on that challenge. Okay, now coming to the perfume. So for 1 kg of perfume, we use 5 to 7 ml. And again, I'm telling perfume is very good, particularly sandal perfume improves the speech and the rose perfume, lavender calms the mind. So each perfume has its own good nature. Again, when it comes to perfume for candles, they normally use an ordinary perfume, but I use that soap perfume only because the quality is very good. And that smelling itself is an activity when we do with the children. So use the better quality, I feel, but it is up to you. For candle, you can go for a low grade perfume, also not an issue. But for soap, no. It should be a good quality because it is going to touch your skin. So it is just pouring, melt and pour method. That's all. So you pour it. So here you have to pour it. So what happens is when after you pour, after maybe 2 hours or something, there will be a dip inside the candle. The candle, the level will go down. So you must teach the child for the repouring also. Refilling. Second time also you will have to pour. You have to fill it up. This jug is another safe method of handling the wax. Instead of pouring with the chamach, you can plug ऐसे jug use कर सकते because this will go inside directly. There won't be spillover. This is very safe. Using this kind of a vessel is very safe. See, this is what is repouring. When after I pour, it will fall down. And one more important thing which I would like to tell you is, please use a plastic sheet. See, I have kept an old sari down because I couldn't get that thick plastic sheet. But please, I suggest use a thick plastic sheet on the table. Why? Because okay, this is a hurricane mold. It has no hole. This is you make a pencil holder, pen holder or a pencil holder with this. All these can be used as a gift product. So why I'm telling you is it's all a variation. I'll just pause a bit. What I would like to tell you is, please use a plastic sheet down, not cloth all. Why? Because when our children are learning, it's a tendency they will not know the half full and all that. There is a tendency or a possibility the wax will pour out. So immediately as a parent, you will get really tensed. I have parents who really get tensed. Oh my God, it's getting wasted. It doesn't get wasted actually. So all you have to do is, we have a scrapper also in our house. Children will come, they'll scrap it out, and those wax can be reused. So there is nothing called waste. Please allow the children to do mistakes and learn. They will know, okay, I should not pour. Oh, if I pour more, it will fall down. If I go fast, it will fall down. Don't try to protect too much. Take care of the safety. That you have to be firm, I agree. But it comes to, don't be a perfectionist initially. Children will become perfectionist automatically. My students have told me, because once when I was doing a gel candle, stones from my hand fell down. By mistake, it fell down. They started shouting at me. You don't know how to handle stones also. You don't know how to handle pebbles also. So children will become perfectionists. So don't worry about it, and just keep teaching them. Allow them to do mistakes. From there, you teach them. See, this is what you should not do. And be very gentle in handling them. If you become harsh, or if you very stern, this is on a porcelain glass we did candles. This was done by one of my students. I didn't do it. It was done he gifted me actually. So I'm going to show the demolding part of it. This is the right side. The top is here. The top is the bottom. Actually, this is the bottom. The right side is down. The right side is down. So when you take it out, you see the right side is down. I hope you can see the candle. This I did with the ordinary wick. So demolding also, because the right side is at the bottom, children may sometimes will not know. They break it. Allow them to do mistake. You can remelt the candle. Nothing will happen. All broken candles can be remelted. This is the hurricane candle, which I said the pencil holder. Please see how I'm demolding it. You have to be very careful. By stages, give children all these. Start with small ones. When they get comfortable, give the second one, third one, and all these you give them in the advanced level. Don't give them initially itself, because they will, they will get scared. Oh my God, what is this? Let me get away from this. Then they will start the so-called tantrums. All that will come. So when you start gentle, they will also be comfortable. Sometimes when you're demolding it, all possibilities, the petals, all these might get damaged. So don't worry, it can be remelted, reused. Nothing goes waste. So you have Santa, you have Christmas tree, you have lots of varieties. Even molds you can customize and make. I'm telling you can customize and make. So please don't get into the normal candles which you get in the market. Now you see this is a vegetable, if I'm right, the grapes. So see grapes. clean the other part of it. The extra part of it, you can clean it off. Or also the tukdas, you can use it again. Don't waste anything. So what I'm trying to tell is make something different, and all these also you can put it in a basket, and you know you can have as a gift pack. See, this is not filled. You will have to re-pour it. I'll not be using it. This is for you to for me to show that the candle level goes inside. So we have to re-pour again and again. You have to re-pour. Not again and again. One time at least you will have to re-pour. See, it has to be full. Okay, now how do you remove this? This one you have to use a cutting plier. What I used to do is cutting plier. I'll give it to one child. The mold I'll give it to another child. They will you know, with the twist, and they'll pull and push. They will remove the rod. It's not very difficult. It comes out very easily. And then you demold it. I'll tell you how you have to put wick into it. Gently you have to remove the extra wax and then open it, and slowly you will have to open it completely. It has to be very gentle process. Children may take time to learn, but by practice, believe me, they will get it. So now if you see this particular candle, it has hole in the middle. Can you see the hole? It has a hole in the middle. So now what I have to do is I will be taking this wick, this aluminum coat, that bottom wick. So I will put it from this down and then give a gentle push. That aluminum will get locked into the wax. It will get locked into the wax. That's all. It won't come out. Just give a gentle push. Don't press too much. The candle will break. Cut the extra wick. That's all. How much ever you want, you can keep. You want it less, you can keep it less also. So this is how you will have to do the wick for the rods particularly. Yes, I will be telling everything. Where you get the molds, everything I will be telling. This you can see, this is the hurricane mold. This mold is around 20,000. This particular mold is 20,000. It has, you know, it is not the silicone mold alone. It will have wooden blocks around it where you will have to open with screws. It will be. So you will have to open the screws and then demold. So these molds are 20,000 like that also. It's very expensive. So they will have screws actually. You will have to screw it and then unscrew it. So please go in for a fancy type of designer candles, and with that you can make, in fact we have made chocolate candle bouquets also. We made candle bouquets as gift. So make it very innovative. Have a contract with NGOs. When I say I request you to have a contract with rest of hotels, big hotels, where you can sell these products. Definitely they will buy. Go for your own designer product also. You can customize. Even I'm telling you, the silicone molds you can customize to your taste, to the requirement of the hotels. You can paint it also. These candles can be painted also outside. Oil-based paint you should use, not water-based. Because water-based will not stick into it. So that's it. These are the candles what we made. You have lots of varieties. Now I'm opening for question answer session. Anything, any doubt in this hard candles, if you have, you can ask. You can put it in the chat box because after this we will go to the gel candles. Availability of the Rajnikant sir, I'll tell about the availability of the thing. The complete details I will give. Of course, making molds also. Very good question. As I said, you can customize your molds. How you can customize? That also I will tell you. I have a slide for that I will tell you. Any other question, please let me know. Of course, this is gel candles. We will come our next session. In this hard candles particularly, if you have, please maintain low temperature. Understand, safety is first. Have a low temperature, do it slowly. If you don't have time, don't do. Don't do. Don't put your attention onto the child, please. Okay, so I think we can go on, right? Is it expensive molds? Yes. Molds means it will come from, as I said, from 200 rupees. A small mold will be 200 to 250 rupees. And it goes up to 20,000, as I said. The big molds, all hurricane molds, the big ones goes up to 20,000. So it depends. Start with small ones first. Go for small ones. When you're comfortable, start investing. For me, if you see, it is a years of investment. Slowly, every time I go, I'll pick up some 3-4.
Gayatri ma'am, there is one more question.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, other than the silicon molds, are there other variety of molds also which we can use, like the wooden molds and plastic molds, or maybe other things? And can't we use some upcycled molds also? Like lot of things we have in our house which are of no use, and we can easily use them as a mold. Innovative design or something, like a broken cup. Sometimes we have a very fancy cup which has broken, the handle has broken. So can we make use of these old and waste material also sometimes to use as mold?
Again, an excellent question from yours. Plastic molds, no, because candles are very hot. You can't even pour there. So plastic molds, no. But when you come to the broken ones, because sometimes that comes as an antique piece, it comes out so beautiful. It breaks so beautifully. So this, if it is a porcelain or a ceramic thing, yes, you can use it. I showed you a cup where we have poured candle inside, and we use it along with the cup itself. And we have buckets. We have small buckets, very fancy buckets. In that we pour. So that is not like demolding. There is no demolding. We use it as such. So there is no demolding. You don't take out the candle. So we use it as such. When it comes to these antique pieces, all you come. But Anuradhaji, one more thing I would like to share. You have a beautiful piece in your house. Some very beautiful showpiece, and you want to convert that into a candle mold. Yes, you can do it. For that, you will have to learn mold making. Mold making again is just a one-day process. Maybe next time I can tell, because I don't have the materials now. But I will tell next time. Maybe we can do mold making. Yes, you can do with your showpiece. You can make a mold of your own. It's very easy. It's very simple. You can make it, and that will become a unique piece. That will become your brand. So that way, I will say the marketing will become easier rather than the whatever you get in the market. We should never do. We have to think something different. So in fact, when you see one of my student, I will be showing that boy's shop. He's a child with Down syndrome. He's opened a shop in Oman. What his sister did is, of course, as a family, they are helping. I only took them to one level. They have taken him to another level, the family. So what the sister did is, here when you see in Oman, the jug and there are a lot of those very traditional gift articles, particularly the jug, and you know that they will use a lot of this धूप आता है ना, धूप का वो स्टैंड आता है ना, वो बहुत फैशन बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है ओमान में. So they have a very typical design of all that. In fact, you have a roundabout made of all that. She has made a mold with those things. So a jug ka mold. So imagine that is going to be a unique piece. So yes, you can go for it. We can go to our traditions, our own things, and we can make our own molds also. Yes.
Thank you very much. And I think making use of these old like things. So if we are able to apply, because sometimes we have tried making candles with some of the ladies in the slums and the rural ladies. So in that case, we used to use just to give them practice, we used to use the old material and we used to put a layer of some lubricating like oil or something, so that once the mold gets condensed,
You can take it out. Hope you can hear me.
Gayatri ma'am, this is Pradeep here.
Yes, sir.
Can you have, do you have an association in India to sell your articles? Or you have a partner so that our NGOs or our SHGs can sell it there?
No, actually, I don't have like that. But what I do is I approach the restaurants, I approach companies, and I get a contract with them. So they, in fact, they give me the order, they give me the design. They say this is what I want. So based on that, I make the mold and I bring it. I do it for them. It is customized according to the company. So I go to the companies and get the order.
Okay, because we have one of the farmer to market connect. They are working into this and they will be in our sessions also. So you can associate
that is
with
great.
those.
Sure, that would be really great. That will be great for the parents also. If they are doing it, that will be really great.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, now moving ahead with our next is our gel wax. Gel wax is something, so it's almost the same thing. For gel, all you need is a glass. You know, gel is very soft, jelly. You know, it won't stand of its own. So we have to pour it in a glass. But when you select a glass, remember, you cannot go in for any glasses. It has to be thick. It has to be really thick. Good quality glass only you have to take. Otherwise, you know, when you light the candle, all possibility it will blast. It will break. So please go for a good quality candle. Don't compromise on the quality. So let's start with the gel candle. So these are the things we will need. So if you see gel, you can see we do it in a glass only. It's a very, very soft jelly-like substance. Actually, children, they love it, but they like, you know, squeezing it and playing with it. But please remember, they are not natural products. So ask them to wear gloves because it's safety. Again, I'm telling it should not get into their nails and then it will get into their mouth. So please ensure all that safety aspect. So again, rest everything is same. You need the induction stove, that vessel, the perfume, and that is what is gel wax. I hope you can see. It's a very, very soft type it is, very soft it is. And you know, another thing, it burns quite long also. And so these are the glasses. So glasses needs to be very thick, and definitely it has to be aluminum base wick only. If you are not getting aluminum base wick, people who are staying abroad, if you're not able to take it from here, then you do one thing, put little layer of sand or put little pebbles so that the wick doesn't touch the glass because it will break. For this, definitely you need this rod. Otherwise, your wick all will come to one side and you know, it will look very bad. Same perfume. Perfume is same. For 1 liter, 5 to 7 ml. You want it strong, put 7 ml. Otherwise, 5 ml. Colors. Colors, when you see, here you have special colors for gel candles. You get it in powder also, or you get it as a liquid, oil based. This is oil based, not water based. Otherwise, this powder you can mix it into mix with oil and you can use. So otherwise, apart from colors, I use all these. Why I'm keeping this big wick, I will tell you. This is double layered, immersed candle. So I will put hard candle inside the gel candle. And you have glitter candles. You can make double, triple, 4-layer candles also. See, this is the technique. Creativity then comes to you only. You will have to create it. So this is very simple. Break it. Again, the temperature has to be very, very low. Please remember, it is a flammable substance. So I'm going to keep that inside this. So on top of this, I will pour a transparent gel. It will look so beautiful. It looks so beautiful. If you have red color rose, it will look even more beautiful. So I'm getting ready with the other things. So here I'm using pebbles. You can use color pebbles or marbles. Please, even wooden beads you can use. Don't use plastic beads because you know it will get melted. You can use metal charms also. Metallic, anything metallic charms you can use. You can, that Eiffel Tower, all you get in metals. So all those can get inside this. It will look so beautiful. Design part of it, this gel candle is, you know, it's amazing. It is. So I'll be telling about the double layer also. In fact, we made tricolor candles for Independence Day. In a school where we were doing before, in the center, we made around 150 tricolor candles and we gifted to many people. So again, I'm telling what you are going to do, it all depends on you. You can mix, match anything. There is no hard and fast rule at all. Please use a plastic sheet down, a thick plastic sheet, so that even if it spills over, you can remove and you can reuse it again. It won't go waste for you. All these rods where you get, I will be telling it in the end. I will give you the details. So you can see it started melting. Even with induction stove, there is a possibility of catching fire. So as someone said, adult supervision is very, very important. Please don't leave your children alone at home. After switching off the stove, you will have to use the perfume. For 1 kg, 5 to 7 ml of perfume. Please switch off the stove because the quality of the perfume may go down. Another thing, if it gets left over, you can remelt and reuse also, but you may have to add perfume again, little bit of perfume again, because with heat you may lose the perfume quality. So here you can watch the video. I'll be doing double layered. Then when you make glitter candles, there are 2 ways of making glitter candles. So when you make double layer candle, first you use one color. Allow it to settle a bit. Not a bit, it has to settle down. It should become hard again. Only after it becomes hard, you will have to use the second color. I moved the rod and I poured it. You can give a jug to the child. It will be easy for the child to pour. Please make a task analysis. Though this is gel candle I'm teaching, but when it comes to a child with special needs, there is a way of teaching. Go one by one. Here, because it is a webinar, I'm teaching everything together. But when it comes to a child with special needs, this is not the way you will have to teach. Go step by step, one thing, one variety at a time. So you can see I put hard candle with a long wick, and on top of it, I'm pouring the gel. Like this, you can use charms also. Like this, many things you can use. It looks so beautiful when you wear, particularly when you use red color, small roses, it looks really beautiful, really cute it looks, this immersed ones. Again, I'm telling it is all mix and match. Yeah, see, when you see, this is what I'm telling, I'm using glitter here. Glitter can be, you can mix it separately and you can use, or you can put it in the glass directly. That will give another variety also. Again, there is nothing like hard and fast rule that this is what the procedure, this is right, this is wrong. There is nothing like that. Child's like, you're comfortable, what is the order, what does the organization wants. So based on that, you will have to design. So, but please, instead of pouring like this, give a jug. That will be better. See, can you see? I mixed the glitter in another cup and then I poured. In this way, what happens? The glitter mixes uniformly. You get a uniform mix of the glitter. But there is another way of doing also, which will give a different effect, which I will show. You can have this video as a guidance, but a lot of variety is coming in one shot because of the time. So a lot of, because I have to finish in the stipulated time, I've done it like this. But again, I'm telling, when it comes to a child, do it one by one, have a task analysis, break everything into different work, and then you teach the child. This is just for you all to understand and learn, not from the child's perspective. So there is another way is, okay, this also I'm mixing and I'm pouring the glitter. This is for a double layered, gel glitter candle. Actually, in the video, okay, the quality is okay, but when you see it real, it comes out so well. It comes out so beautiful. See, another way of doing is, can you see I'm pouring the glitter just into the glass directly. So what happens is when I pour the gel, it will give like a hurricane effect, it will come. That is also beautiful. So it depends on your order. See, suppose you want to do a big mask work, then once you have to mix and finish it. If you have different order, then you will have to go. It all depends on the order, what you want, how the child is comfortable. Here I'm just showing you the varieties. Again, I'm telling, please don't stop with these varieties alone. There are so many varieties. Everything you can mix, match, and you can do, and it comes out so beautiful. But only one thing, keep in mind, the glasses which you select should be very, very good quality and strong glasses. Please don't select thin ones. There are incidents where when you light the candle, the glass has, it has broken. And please definitely use this aluminum base wick. Again, if you're not having aluminum base wick, if you're not able to get it, then You use ordinary wick, fine, but in the base, put something like this, or stones or sand, colored sand you can use. Only thing is the wick should not touch the burning wick should not touch the bottom of the candle. The fire should not touch the bottom of the candle, the glass. Sorry. I'm so sorry. See, can you see now I have put the colors directly. It gives a sort of hurricane effect. It won't be uniform like what we did that side. I'm just mixing it with the wooden stick. Sometimes, some people like bubbles coming also. For example, I like bubbles in the gel candles. It gives a beautiful, see, can you see that hurricane effect it comes? So the bubbles gives a beautiful look. Some like, some don't like. Again, I'm telling, it all depends on the person who is buying your candle. So if you don't want the bubbles, to avoid the bubbles, then you will have to put it very, very slowly. You will have to, when you're pouring the gel, it has to be done very slowly to avoid the bubbles. Actually, when you see, I love bubbles, it gives a beautiful effect. Don't use any plastic materials because we are handling something very, very hot. Again, this, if you see, I mixed the color in another bowl and I have put. So what it gives is a uniform. Can you see? It gives a uniform effect. Whereas the red and green will have a hurricane effect. So now I'll be doing the double layer candles. So I'm going to pour the second layer. For the second layer, please ensure the first layer has to get settled. The first layer needs to be settled for the second layer. If it is not settled, then what will happen is the colors will start getting mixed. You won't get a proper definition. But again, if you say it is wrong, I will say it is not wrong. There is nothing wrong or right in this. This is your creation, that's all. So here I'm just mixing two colors, two layered candles. You can make a tri-color candle also. A thematic you want to do, or any organizational logo based candles also you can make as a gift. You can reheat it. If it gets hardened, yes, you can reheat it also. So again, but only thing, the perfume level may go down. Check on the perfume level alone. So this is it. You allow it to settle down. This is a glitter and liquid mix. This is a glitter and liquid mix. Gel comes out so beautifully. So with this, we have done with our gel candles. So now we'll move on to any questions regarding this. You can put it on the chat box. Okay, please, before we go for question answer, kindly note down this. For Mr. Fennel is from Mumbai. This is his contact details. You get thousands of molds over there. They have a website also, Niral Industries. It's a Niral Industries. And please add that it's called Niral Industries, Mr. Fennel. You can contact him on WhatsApp. And for the blend here, with Mr. Fennel, you get the granulated wax. You don't get the blended wax, that square box you don't get. If you want the color pellets and the blended wax, you have to contact Mr. Pradeep, because we worked on making this color pellets. And of course, gel candles, those people in South can, I know Chennai address, I know Mumbai address. You must be getting it in your places also. These are the contacts where I get. So I'm sharing. You can check with your place also. Okay. And but you visit Mr. Fennel shop, that Niral Industries, for soap, for candles, everything you get over there. Everything you get over there. It's a big shop. Okay. This is, see, again, I'm telling, can you see the gel candle? This is the variety you can make. And these are hard candles varieties. With that, we make even, this is a greeting card. Actually, we have a machine to make these type of paper cuttings. And our children are very good in making these greeting cards. So what we do is we make it as a package, we give it as a gift pack. So this is one variety which I would like to show you, but like this we have done lots. So the creativity depends on you all. And now I think you can open up to question answers. Anything, please, you can ask. Yes, Mr. Fennel is better to be contacted, but only for the blended wax and color pellets you want, you will have to contact Mr. Pradeep Kumar. Otherwise, Fennel is better. Any doubts? If no, we can go on to the case study, which I would like to share with you all. How do you add logos in Candle? Okay, very good. Ms. Pratima has asked, how do you add? I'll share that slide again. You can copy. Meantime, I'll answer the question. How do you add logos in Candles? Yes, logos in Candles is Zenith ma'am, voice is not clear. I hope my voice is clear. Okay, thank you. Okay, coming to the logo. Logo is, see, when you take hard candles, that's what I'm telling. You have to have a PDF of the particular logo, PDF format of that particular logo. From there, actually, it's a separate course. How you make a mold, silicone mold is a separate course. So with that PDF, you can easily make a mold. It's a detailed session again, and I need all those chemicals also, which I'm not getting it in Muscat. I'm not able to tell you, but yes, you can make. You can ask. Pradeep Kumar is there here. Mr. Pradeep Kumar, he will guide you with that logo-based molds. He will help you with that logo-based molds. I've got it done with him. So you can ask Mr. Pradeep Kumar regarding that logo-based. But when it comes to gel candles logo, you can only have a sticker, because once we did a gel candle for cancer awareness program, around 600 candles we did. So we had a sticker stuck to the glass around. So that is how we did. So actually you can develop more on it. A course on mold, not in this session, because the problem is I'm not having the required raw material to teach mold making. Actually, mold is, it is not only silicone mold. You have a variety of molds, actually. Variety of molds. What you use for the dentist, they used to take the mold of our teeth. No, with that also we make molds. We make mold of our hand and everything. So it's a separate course. That's what I'm telling. It's a detailed session. Maybe we can plan next time. Okay, for now you can contact Mr. Pradeep Kumar for the logo based. We have correct. Okay, now I will take you through the case studies. Okay, this is again, I'm telling you, is one of my very dear project. Actually, I was doing it in a very, very small scale. the candles and everything. This project is one which gave me an awareness that our children are capable of doing in a mass scale also. We did around 2,400 candles, I still remember, and it was a memorable, very memorable event for us. My house was like a wedding house. I miss even now, I miss those days. 1 second, I'll stop sharing and I'll come back because I have to optimize. So this is the project which, where I got to know even our children can do everything in a mass scale. These are gel candles. This is how we did. So around 2,400 candles customized. We had to do it on a triangle wood base. So it was like every to come, break the wax, do it, and even get a lot. Please ensure the safety. Safety is very important. Again, I'm telling parental training is very, very important. Rajinikanji, is it, I hope you are able to hear?
Yes, we are.
Yeah, no? Okay. So my house was full of candles. So like this, we had to make 800 triangles. So imagine making the candles every day, sticking onto the glass bowls. From there, you will have to stick it onto this wood. And this was a beautiful project. So again, here I would say we have to get in touch with the other companies and get the order. Pradeepji, you wanted to tell something? No. Those are wooden base. The triangles are wooden base. I'll go back. The triangles are actually the wooden base. See, if you see, these are wooden base. It was made to order. Yeah, these are wooden base. And see, the candles, we made it separately. It is for a church project we did. The candles we made separately. The candles were stuck on the glass bowls. So this is what the order was. From their side, they wanted it like that. So this was the design proposed by them. So the candle had to be stuck on the glass bowls. Then the glass bowls to be stuck on the wooden base. So what we used to do is we used to mark the position of the glass bowls. So the moment we put the glue gun, the children will know they'll have to stick it over there. So every day they used to come 1 hour, meticulously work. Every day they used to come and do this work. No, we ordered it. Anuradhaji, we ordered the wooden blocks. The design was proposed by them. And in fact, for the design also, we sat together and we designed. We decided, okay, this is what the design. The main thing is, based on their logo, they went for these 3 colors, red, green, and yellow. So this is what their color they wanted. And together we made the design and then we worked on it. Okay, and the next video. Oh, sorry. This is again one day they finished 150, I think, if I'm right, a big project of making gel candles for another company. It was just a one-day project. I wanted to see the speed of my children because they were by now they were very good in working. So this was just to check so whether they could do it. You can see the team effort, thing. 150 candles.
Which color?
Please teach communication skills. Use every opportunity. It is not just making candles. Every opportunity has to be taken to teach all skills. I am asking whether you like it, whether you like this job. $150 candles was done in just 1 hour. I'm so sorry I had to hide my children's face because of, I don't want to expose their faces. So I hope you can see the video. So it was a hard and gel candle mix. We had to give this to a company for their gift. It had come out so beautiful actually. So we teach them socializing skills, communication skills, behavior. I have blurred the video because I don't want. I wanted to hide their faces. I'm sorry. Because they are hugging me. That was such a lovely moment always. Okay, so we are done for today. If you people, if you all have anything to ask me, you can ask. Otherwise, over to Arpita ji.
Thanks, Gayatri ji. I must say, superb job. Huh? I think you are doing a fabulous job. Please give a big hand for her, please. I think it's beautiful that thing you are doing, putting colors to those people, who are basically their lives are just like a black and white. So you are adding colors to their life, which is commendable, and actually making them self-reliant also. So thanks a lot. We are very delighted to have you on board with us.
Thank you.
So, on behalf of my admin team, extend a very hearty vote of thanks to our vocational partners, Mrs. Gayatri Narsimhan, Director, Prakrima Vocational Institute, Muscat, Oman. Then we have Ms. Anuradha Gupta, Prithvi Innovations from Lucknow, and would also like to mention our hosting partners, that again, Mrs. Gayatri Ji and Mrs. Joshna Kaur. She's also one of the hosting partners. And last not the least, I would also like to mention our media partners, the Bookmark Agency and Social Samvad, and our print partners, Anand Print World and Prakramika Vocational Institute too. So once again, thanks again, Gayatri ji, to you for this. And I also wish to express my gratitude for providing me to be the host for this fabulous session. So thanks, Pradeep ji, again for giving me this opportunity. And I would like to say a few words to our viewers also. Before I continue, for the viewers basically. अगर सच्चाई है आपके दिल में तो जरूर 2 बात कर लूंगी, बढ़ा दो हौसला तालियों सपोर्ट से, तो इस सेशन पर ज्ञान की बरसात कर दूंगी। Thanks a lot.
I thank you all and request host to please close the meeting with a good wishes to all. Thank you.
Well, once again, heartful wishes to all of you for your love and support. This is Arpita Rai, and with the beautiful smile of all of you signing off for today evening. Thank you.